John Steinbeck, a literary giant of American realism. One Life and Family. John Ernst Steinbeck Jr. was born on February 27, 1902, in Salinas, California. He was the third of 4 children, and the only son of John Ernst Steinbeck, a treasurer for Monterey County, and Olive Hamilton Steinbeck, a former schoolteacher. Growing up in the fertile Salinas Valley, Steinbeck developed a deep appreciation for the land and the struggles of the working class, themes that would later shape his literary works. Steinbeck attended Stanford University intermittently between 1919 and 1925, studying English literature. However, he never completed a degree, choosing instead to pursue a career in writing. He worked various manual labor jobs, gaining first-hand experience of the struggles faced by migrant workers and laborers, which would become central to his novels. Steinbeck married 3 times. His first marriage was to Carol Henning in 1930, but they divorced in 1943. His second marriage was to Gwendolyn Conger in 1943, with whom he had 2 sons, Thomas and John IV. This marriage also ended in divorce in 1948. In 1950, he married Elaine Scott, who remained his wife until he died in 1968. Despite his fame, Steinbeck maintained a connection to his roots, often returning to California. He died of heart failure on December 20, 1968, in New York City, leaving behind a legacy of literature that continues to resonate. 2. Main works. John Steinbeck's literary career spanned nearly 4 decades, and his works are celebrated for their vivid portrayal of social injustice, economic hardship, and human resilience. Of Mice and Men, 1937, is a novella about 2 displaced ranch workers, George Milton and Lenny Small, who dream of owning land but face insurmountable challenges. The novel explores themes of friendship, dreams, and the struggles of the working class. The Grapes of Wrath, 1939, is Steinbeck's masterpiece. This novel follows the Joad family as they migrate from Oklahoma to California during the Great Depression. It won the Pulitzer Prize and is regarded as one of the greatest American novels of all time. East of Eden, 1952, is a multigenerational family saga that explores themes of good and evil, free will, and the human condition. Steinbeck considered it his magnum opus. Cannery Row, 1945, is a novel set in Monterey, California, and depicts the lives of drifters, outcasts, and working-class people. The Pearl, 1947, is a novella based on a Mexican folk tale about a poor fisherman who discovers a great pearl, only to find it brings misfortune. Travels with Charlie, 1962, is a travelogue that recounts Steinbeck's road trip across America with his poodle Charlie. It offers insightful observations on American society. Steinbeck was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1962 for his realistic and imaginative storytelling, which captured the plight of the working class and the American spirit. 3. Controversies. Steinbeck's career was not without controversy. One of the most significant disputes involved The Grapes of Wrath. While many praised its powerful depiction of economic hardship, the novel was also banned and burned in parts of the United States, particularly in California, where landowners and officials accused Steinbeck of exaggeration and communist sympathies. The novel's harsh criticism of capitalism and advocacy for social justice made him both a celebrated and polarizing figure. Another controversy arose over Steinbeck's portrayal of women and minorities. Some critics argue that his female characters, particularly in Of Mice and Men and East of Eden, are often one-dimensional or confined to traditional roles. Others, however, believe his writing reflects the historical and social realities of the times, rather than his personal views. Steinbeck's relationship with the political establishment was also complex. He was often accused of leftist sympathies, and during the McCarthy era, he was scrutinized by the FBI for alleged communist ties. Although he was not blacklisted, the suspicions surrounding him affected his later career. Ironically, in the 1960s, he was criticized from the opposite end of the political spectrum for supporting the Vietnam War, which alienated some of his left-leaning admirers. His Nobel Prize win in 1962 was also met with controversy. Some literary critics argued that his later works were not as strong as his earlier novels, and that he was undeserving of the prestigious award. However, others defended his win, emphasizing his enduring impact on American literature. For conclusion, John Steinbeck remains one of America's most influential writers, whose works continue to be studied, adapted, and celebrated. His ability to capture the struggles of the working class, the beauty of the American landscape, and the complexity of human nature cements his place in literary history. While he faced criticism and controversy, his contributions to literature and social thought are undeniable. Whether through the tragic story of George and Lenny, the epic journey of the Joad family, or the philosophical reflections of East of Eden, Steinbeck's legacy endures as a voice for the disenfranchised and a chronicler of the American experience.